exciting, to say the least, to go with you through all of that information.
Yes.
We know a lot more now about Indian hermeneutics than before. But we do have a few questions.
Yes, please.
First, when you say that Indian hermeneutics is to be understood in dialogue with the present and in the context, does that mean that we don't need to pay attention to original meanings, quote, quote?
Original meanings, as far as the Dhoni method is concerned, and Indian hermeneutic, in a sense, the alternative methods are concerned, understanding the original meaning is too difficult. Once it has gone from the author, and especially get into the status of the scripture, that means comes under the canon, it has a very different meaning. So going back and understanding the original meaning, it's a hard labor. I will not say that you cannot find it, but it is too hard to find those meanings.
So, generally speaking, Indian pastors at a Pentecostal church will be preaching to their congregations, not seeking to tell them what it meant for Isaiah, but what it means for today, here and now.
Yes, that's emphasis. Yeah, very few pastors, those who are trained in a systematical theology,
meaning Western
hermeneutics, may try to include what it may mean to Isaiah when they start preaching from the book of Isaiah. But that may not be the focus of the message, but the focus or the emphasis, maybe what does it mean to them in their context.
Now, Reverend Clement, Daniel Clement, this is a very difficult position because our students have been trained to ask the question, how many Isaiahs are there?
Yes.
So, was it the first? Was it the second? Was it the third?
Yeah.
So you're saying all of that is seemingly irrelevant for the reading using this hermeneutical approach.
Of course. In India, the normal public, including Christians, are very open-minded to receive the scripture as it is, without having a critical mentality.
So tell me if I heard you. Are you saying that when an average individual from New Delhi that has never seen the Bible, if you were to read that Jesus was resurrected, would they say resurrection? That's nonsense. Would they say something like this?
May not be.
Why not?
Because in Indian context, in Hindu traditions, you find good number of resurrection stories.
Oh, so it's part of the cultural repertoire.
Yes.
And what about miracles?
It's well accepted.
Because in the West, our students have been trained, some of them have embraced the idea to demythologize.
Yes, I understand.
So you're saying that this demythologization process is totally irrelevant in this approach of hermeneutics.
Yes, in India.
So there you have it. You have choices. Those Bible believers that do not agree with the idea that the most important question is, was it one Isaiah or three, before you ask, what does it mean for me today? Now you know. You are able to do, tell us the name again of the hermeneutics that we're talking
Dwani
about.
Mata?
I am still having difficult time, so don't feel bad if you are not able to pronounce it as beautifully as Reverend Daniel does it. Say it one more time.
Dwani.
Dwani Hermeneutics.
Yes, you're correct.
You are invited to work on Dwani Hermeneutics. Welcome.